own apartments during the stagflation, man, cash will lose value. I mean, naturally, right? Like your dollar is not the same as it is as it was yesterday, as it is today. I mean,
Right.
penny candy, right? I mean,
I haven't heard that.
yeah,
In
penny
a while.
candy is now what, $1, 25 cents. I mean, just the other day, my first two family I bought. Because of inflation, it was a C neighborhood. The value of this thing went from 75,000, and it dropped down. I actually sold it before the recession, but it dropped down to like 35,000.
Oh wow! During the recession.
But it just sold, I think, just this year, $230,000
Oh wow!
in the C
amazing.
neighborhood. So I mean, yeah, it's value, there's demand, there's a lot of other things to it, but all stagflation and inflation. By owning an apartment building, you can turn your cash into cash flow, a producing asset. So listen, who cares if the dollar's decreasing in value? You invest your money and continue to increase in value, or you increase the value of the asset by simply, as we say here, increasing the rent.
Right, right. And we'll show them an actual or a hypothetical example just so that you guys know the power of increasing the rent and what it does to the value. So
Well, go ahead and explain it since you're here, man. I mean, what about increasing costs due to high inflation?
right, right. So as long as you're able to increase the top line, that is the
Yes.
rents, by the same amount or the same percentage, then you're actually ahead. So look at this, guys. So just imagine you own a 100-unit apartment building, right? And the rent right now is $1,000, but because there is a stagflation or high inflation, then now you increase the rent to 1,100. You can easily justify that, as you've seen from historical data, right? Like they can, during stagflation times, the rents increased by, like almost double digits, between 7 to 12%, right? So let's say you increase it by 10%. Now, obviously, your expenses because of inflation will also increase, right?
That's right.
So let's say you increase it by 10%, right? And then assume 90% occupancy. So if you do the math, right, your top line increased by 10%, or so your year one NOI, you are at 540,000, right? But since you increased your rent by 10%, even though your expenses also increased by 10%, but since your top line is bigger than your expenses, obviously, right, then your actual NOI increased by $54,000.
That's
You
amazing.
know, so you put $54,000 more in your pocket per year because of high inflation.
So high inflation, not only it allowed us to charge an extra $100 more in rent, and we raised it enough that it allowed us to outbeat the cost,
Right.
which are consumer goods like gas, utilities, employee wages.
Right.
So it's always a win. So listen, guys, what we're trying to tell you is, regardless of the cycle, there's always great deals. You just have to adjust on how you acquire.